figured out the impact of AI based on the pace at which it's going. So you've got to also be a continuous learner, what the Japanese call kaizen. So I am going to stop here and pass the mic over to Philip to take it on. Thank you very much.
Agraka,
Blow,
Agraka.
blow.
So I want to take us back to the 90s. If we go back 20 years, 30 years ago, what we're doing now would not have been possible. Internet access, portable devices have significantly increased. Information transfer. AI is adding on the next level of complexity in the way we interact between ourselves and acquire knowledge as well. As a student, I would say that this opens new doors. You don't necessarily have to pay for classes. Knowledge has become very commonplace, and as a student, you should open your mind and have a wide view of what your education really looks like, because the curriculum that we have now in traditional education may not be the way forward with all these technologies at our fingertips. You could learn, you're sitting in a car holding a phone, you could be in the Harvard classroom with a phone. You could be in China learning, some skill set. You could be in South Africa learning something about the culture of the people and trying to apply it to what you do. So, as a student, I think that for this generation, the kind of options that technology and AI presents you is so vast that you essentially have an encyclopedia at the fingertips. I would say that for everyone who is in school now, you should have, if at the least, a basic understanding of technology and some of the principles that go into it. If it's basic coding, understanding things like how algorithms work, because in healthcare, I can say that there are certain things that algorithms can take over. But as we all know, there are certain industries that is a human industry. And so there is always going to be a human touch. One other piece that I want to make sure that students understand also is that the AI and other technologies should not replace, you shouldn't use it as a replacement of your knowledge acquisition and honing in on your skills, but they should support that journey that you're on. And I can speak about several examples in healthcare, which I'm well versed with. I currently don't even need an executive assistant. I have things that go through my email, line up my day for me, um, creates my agenda for the week. But I still need to work on that and think through to make sure that what the supporting materials I have is really speaking to the audience in the way that I want them to speak. So I would say that you have those things at your fingertips. They should support your journey and they should help you develop your knowledge and skill set. But AI and technology should not be a replacement to your knowledge that you can apply in this world. Otherwise, you will become irrelevant very quickly if those things become your knowledge instead of you making yourself a better person using those resources as well. So I'll leave it here, and I know there's going to be a discussion. So I'm all ears to hear what people have and are thinking of. So I'll yield the rest of my time back, and thank you for your time, Akraka. All right.
And Philip, like Richard said, your competitor is not AI, but the user of AI, probably in the field that you have chosen as a career. And so do well to ensure that before you leave here, get some knowledge in technology, in AI, at least basic coding, and know how you can use that, because that is not a need for acquisition of knowledge, but you need that to be a tool that you will use in deploying the knowledge you have acquired. Thank you very much. And Philip, we would move to the next topic: when and how to switch careers. When and how to switch careers. And Michael and Love are going to help us deal with that. So we'll start with Michael, and then Love will follow. Over to you, please.
Okay, Love, you go ahead and I pick up from the back.
Right. Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Thank you very much. Akraka. Okay. So we'll be talking about when and how to switch careers. When we got this topic, we're wondering how relevant will this be for you since you are still in school and have not yet chosen your careers. Then this is a knowledge vault right now. I believe that whatever thing is being shared today here is going to be relevant to us either now or in the future. So I just encourage to pay attention and soak as much as we can. Now we hear terms like reskilling. I don't know if you've heard the term reskilling or pivoting when we talk about career changes or switching. Now in life, there's always change. People are always changing. We are always making decisions that lead to change. And one of the big decisions that we make in life, people make in life, is the choice of their career or to change from one career to another. But before we answer the questions when and how to switch careers, I want us to think about why even switch careers. And there are so many reasons why people switch their careers. Sometimes you reflect on your life along the line and you think that maybe you don't feel fulfilled enough in what you are doing, or you are just bored in what you are doing. You feel you are not maximizing your potential, or you just want an adventure into another field, or you wonder how will it be like doing this or that. These are some of the reasons why people change careers. Or in a place like Ghana, where our careers or the career path that you choose is channeled through education. So maybe you write your exams, you wanted to do something else, but your grades didn't qualify you to be able to do that. So maybe you do not get your first choice of subjects, but you get your second choice. That is not the end of the world, because there's always the opportunity later on in life to switch. Like we've heard, like our previous speakers have said, things are rapidly changing. Not everything that we are learning is what is going to be useful for us, but when we go through school, we build the skills, the discipline, the network, and the other things that set us up for life. So now let's go to how you go about career change. First of all, at the time that you have the desire to change a career, you want to do your research. You talk to people, you read books, or right now there's so much content out there on the internet that you can read, you can research. Now you don't need to go to a physical library and pick up an encyclopedia to even get information. Everything is out there. But the bottom line, the first thing that you want to do is you want to educate yourself. And I believe that what we are doing here right now, even is a form of education where our minds are being enlightened as to what is out there and what options possibly available for us. Then the next thing you want to do is to study. That is when you put in the work, especially if what you are doing is completely different from what you were doing or what you studied in school, then you are going to put in the work to do it. If you have the opportunity to volunteer somewhere, shadow someone, or anything like that in the area that you are desiring to go to, that will be the time to do it. You cannot take a class. It might not necessarily be a university, but maybe a class where you can study and then write a certification exam if that is what the field that you're going to requires. And I can use myself as an example. I have been a counselor for over 25 years, but just around COVID time, I started researching and looking into other areas. And so gradually, I still do my counseling, but my main occupation right now is in information systems. So it's a vast change from what I was doing to what I'm doing. I had to do research, I had to study, and I had to believe that it is possible. So when you are thinking about a career change, or when you are navigating a career change, it's always advisable that you stay within whatever you are still doing and then gradually transition into what you desire to do, so that you are not left hanging unless you have the resources, or unless what you are going to do requires that you make that drastic change. And finally, you have to have a positive mindset. You have to believe that it is possible. You have to believe that whatever thing you studied, or wherever you are not stuck there, that there are options available for you. If you take the right steps and have the right mindset, you will be able to get there. So at this point, I hand over to Michael to continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Love. Akaka,
Blow.
Akaka.
Blow.
Okay, I want to start my piece with a statistic. Yeah, the average Ghanaian lives for 65 years. The average Ghanaian lives for 65 years. And out of these 65 years, 1/3 of it is going to be spent sleeping. So that's about 21 years and 45 months. So out of the 65, 21.45 is spent sleeping, where you are most vulnerable and you're not even aware of what's going on. Then a third, which is the same 21.45 thereabout, is spent on working. And then the other third is spent on education, and then all things like living. So if you are going to spend 21 years and 45, 4.5 or 45, whatever it is, change, then it means that whatever you do has to be worth your time. Very, very important. Now, out of the 65 years that I mentioned, keep in mind that 7 years and 6 months of that, you are going to likely be with poor health. Are you seeing the picture? So what it means is that whatever career you choose, it has to be worthwhile. And that leads us into the question of purpose. Don't just follow the crowd. Today, decide careers based on pressure from society, or trends. But what is most important is fulfillment of whatever you choose to do, and it being meaningful to you. So you have to ask yourself, what excites me naturally? What problems do I care about? What kind of impact do I want to make? These are fundamental questions that you have to keep asking yourself. Because at the end of the day, time is the only unrenewable resource. Yesterday is gone and will never come back. So whatever you choose to do, you want to make sure that you're making the most of the time that you spend on doing what you are chosen to do. Don't be afraid if you don't have everything figured out, because nobody really has everything figured out when you get out of school. Even when you are working, you keep evolving as you go. The most important thing is to stay curious about yourself. A lot of times, we are always connected to the outside world, but not connected to ourselves. We are not talking to ourselves to the point where we know who we are. Yeah? So staying true to yourself is very important. And one of my favorite activities that I do on a daily basis is practicing reflection and introspection. Very, very important. Most times we think that, oh, wisdom comes as a function of age. To some extent, yes, but wisdom can come even when you are in your teens or early 20s or mid 30s through the process of what? Constantly reflecting on your life and introspection. So there you can ask yourself, am I happy where I'm going, right? Am I happy where I'm going? Am I becoming the person I want to be? And the path still fits who I am becoming. I came to Accra Academy to study accounting primarily because I wanted to be an accountant. It was the it thing back in the day. And at Accra Academy, I went to the United States to pursue accounting. But right into my sophomore year, I quickly realized that accounting was not it for me. I was more interested in technology. So even though I graduated with a business and accounting, background, I only worked for 30 days. That's 1 month as an accountant. And thereafter, I switched into technology profession. So I was only able to do that when I asked myself these big questions I have shared with you. Right? So it's very important that you are doing the introspections and reflections very frequently. And first, on a daily basis, we really helps well. Then the next critical bit is take care of your health. It makes no sense for you to think about changing careers and the like when you have poor health. You can have a million challenges. If your health is poor, you're able to see things a lot bigger and deeper. It gives you some sense of calm as well and builds your character in the process. So take into account that it's very important that you are deliberate about doing and upgrading. You don't have to wait to be told. You have to be driven and motivated to do that. And also have courage. A lot of times we are afraid
Hello, Michael.
to make moves. It's Yeah, Baba done. So failure in itself is not the end. It's only the end we use. So I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Michael and Love. Right. As we all know, this program has been organized by the 91 Year Group, and they have been represented here. They are online and they are in here, and I want to acknowledge their presence, led by our president, Mr. Asamoah. Thank you for this great work. He has been in the media space for decades. He's currently a consultant in that space, right? Great, great, great. Right, so we move into the third part. Solving career challenges. Solving career challenges. And we have two great men to do that. We'll start with one online and the final one in. So, Kobna Edu, Cobra, a former ASP.
Akaka. Akaka. Okay, let me start by saying that the topic that I believe that I was speaking about is slightly different from what has been announced. So I'm going to make do with what I have in mind, just to top up or just to echo what my able colleagues and friends have said. And the first thing I'd want to say, as Michael said, was that when you're looking at career, we look for, okay, which career is going to be most lucrative. Of course, if you're going to spend a third of your life working, you want it to be worthwhile in health and also in money. It's not easy to make that choice. I mean, to know which one is more important. But I'll tell you the most important thing, hands down, is your health. So whatever you choose to do, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. The best position anybody could be in is what you guys are in right now. You haven't stepped into the crazy world of work. You're in the best place possible. You have us here. I mean, we shared what we know, what we've experienced. There's many, many more out there. People who know or have experienced varied kinds of situations. Luckily, you are getting everything from everybody in one place. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You are the luckiest people right now because you have not stepped out there. Because it can be really hard. Hard because you want to make money. Hard because you do what you enjoy or what to bring you money. Like Michael said earlier, when you're working, you want to work and make money. But that time, effort spent working might be doing something that you don't really enjoy at all. But you need that money to survive. You need that money to take care of your health. So what do? It's a conundrum. It's very difficult out there, trust me. But it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's very possible out there. When you're choosing a career path, you're looking not only at qualification. We've been to school with friends who have finished school, done their PhDs and everything, and they don't have any skills to support it. How do you do the two? Or a little bit of both? I mean, with limited career paths available to us in Ghana, let's use the Ghanaian example. Another because one of the guys that I really enjoyed spending time was a local fitter. When my parents were looking for me, I'll be with Brava. Just a fitter, I'll be with him. And I thought that was what engineering was about. Eventually, I ended up in accounting. Even though I'm an accountant, I really don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it not because I don't know what I'm doing, but because every time I see something new, I want to jump on it. But you can't jump onto these things if you don't have skills, if you're not resilient, if you're opening your eye to technology. I mean, when I was in college, when I started university kind of level studies, Mr. Enim here, Richard, we used to go to school around the same place, work around the same place. I was like, oh, you could see that, oh, everybody's probably going to be an accountant or an insurance broker or something like that. When the end, you find yourself enjoying things that are completely different. Career path is not always linear. It doesn't follow one straight line. It changes. There are kinks in there. The straightens up over time. People are influenced in what they choose. People find themselves in situations, financial situations that influence what they choose to do. People are just desperate for money. So no matter how smart you are, you don't go the academic route, you go probably the technical route, because that's where you're going to make money. Career paths are not linear. Remember that. It takes resilience, it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes sacrifice. But it is possible. Do what you enjoy doing as much as you can, as much as possible. That is where the reward is, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there are people who are content creators now, doctors, lawyers, accountants, tech people, advisors. They are social media, they are content creators. They are side hustles, and they're becoming their main hustles. And I have lots of examples of this. I know this Iranian woman personally. She's been in America, United States for maybe around 15 years. Now she has about 10 million followers. From 1,000 over a couple of years, she has about 10 million. What does she do? She's a doctor. She gives back to society. Charitable work. That's what she does. Now she spends more time doing that than her that's in the medical field. All I'm trying to say is that when you're choosing a path for success or for career, be open-minded, be resilient, read. Nothing is below you, nothing is above you. I read everything. I mean, just name it. Sometimes my kids ask me, Daddy, how did you know that? How do you know this term? What did you learn that from? Not because I'm just curious. You just have to be curious. Yes, we're doing that right now. Thank you. You have to be curious. Very, 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 very curious. And good luck, you're in a good place. Akaka.
Akraka. Akra aka. It's amazing how time flies. 40 years ago, we were seated right where you guys are. 40 years ago. And if someone should ask me how or where time has gone, I'll be like, wow. So I was sitting up here and I was just reflecting. 40 years. 40 years. It's amazing. And I know one day you will also be seated here riding our shoes. So I think we've been giving topic on our career path. I think during our days, we never got a chance for us to be here, people to come talk to us about career paths, issues you'll be facing along the line. But you guys are, so clap for yourselves, clap for yourselves. You know, at this stage in your life, your next level is for you to move into universities. I believe you all want to move into university now. Let me see by hands those who want to read law. Law. Okay? Let me see by hands those who want to read medicine to become doctors. Let me see by hands those who want to read banking and finance at School of Admin. Let me see those who want to become quote-unquote carpenters. I'm not seeing any hand in here now. So that's when reality dawns. I remember 93, when we also sat for, I want to be very practical as possible. I don't want to quote, I want to be practical. 93, when we sat our A levels, I came out with 3 Bs. So I got a 6. And in my mind, I was going straight to the School of Admin to read BSc Admin or become. That was my mind. That was my mindset now. Because my mother has charged me that if you don't want to become a doctor, then you have to go and read banking and finance. So that was what I had in mind. Now, letters came out. I was offered philosophy, psychology, and economics. I've never heard those names before. I was like, wow. And I'm saying this to you for you to bear in mind that it will happen to most of us seated right here. Philosophy, psychology, and economics. I was like, wow, what are these courses? Because in my mind, I was going to read BSc Administration. So the first solution that you guys need to bear in mind that when it comes to challenges along your career path, it's a must. You can't run away from it. For the challenges, they will hit you at all costs. So yeah, I am. I'm moving to the school now, thinking I was going to read banking, finance. I picked my letter. I see philosophy. What is this? Psychology. What is? At least economics. I read a bit of economics at A level, so I knew what economics was. So ask yourself and put yourself in my shoes. So when you get to that stage, what do? That's the first challenge you are facing. In your mind, you want to become a medical doctor. So i.e. reading medicine. You go into the school, you are offered biochemistry. Biochemistry. So what do? You see, your mind begins to shake and begins to shift. But I want you to know that it is part of the career progression plan. It is part of it. It is part of it. What you have to do in such a situation is to rather convert those challenges now into problems. So it depends on what you see at that stage. Are you seeing problems or you are seeing opportunities? That's the first thing you need to bear in mind. Yes, the challenge has hit you. You are faced with a daunting task. What do you see? It depends on what you want to see. I will look out for the opportunities. Somebody else will be looking out for the problems. So the first solution when it comes to you facing problems is to look out for the opportunities. Yes, I've been offered philosophy, psychology. Somebody got admin. Good for the person. Best of lucks. For my philosophy and for my psychology, I was seeing opportunities. And to tell you the truth, psychology is what is guiding me now in whatever I do at my workplace. I'm not kidding. I got a chance to read economics, but every single decision I make in the office is psychology or philosophy based. Because psychology will make me read into people's minds. That is psychology. So what I'm saying to you is, when it hits you, you just have to pause, reflect on the opportunities, and then you progress. So if for nothing at all, I want to leave you with these 3 principles. As for the issues, they will come. As for the problems, you will face them. But when it hits you, what comes into your mind? Just imagine you want to go and read medicine. You've been offered biochem. Is that the end of the world? Never. That should not be the end of the world. That should never ever be the end of the world. I've seen people offered medicine, but never went well for them now. But like I'm saying, yes, I got philosophy. And when I went in there and I got my letter, I was like, wow. Of course, you'll be distracted. But that is normal. You'll be disappointed. That is normal. But you don't live in the disappointment. You don't have to live in the disappointment. For a few weeks, a few months, yes, you'll be disappointed. But what do you see beyond that? What do you see beyond the horizon? So what I'm saying to you is, yes, you are moving to the university. I believe a lot of you are writing your exams now. In your mind, you want to read law. In your mind, you want to read banking and finance. In your mind, you want to read computer science. When you get in there and they give you an offer, you'll be shocked. But that should not be the end of the world. Look at the opportunities and see how you can convert those opportunities to your advantage. Another principle that you need to bear in mind. You see, career is not a race. It can never be a race. It's progression. Most often than not, we want to be perfect. perfection. No, 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 no. You always choose progression over perfection. You heard me loud and clear. Choose progression bit by bit over perfection. That's the only way you can navigate those problems. Choose them. You progress one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. You don't have to be perfect from day one. Like I told you, I was here 40 years ago. When you asked me 40 years ago, I didn't know one day I'll be standing in here now. But it takes progression. It's been so many years, so many years, so many years, and it's to get in there. And the last thing you need to know is for you to get a mentor. Somebody who's been there before to guide and mentor you. It's very, very important. You have to find a way. You can go on LinkedIn and even find a mentor on LinkedIn. Somebody who's experienced that before to be your guide. Because look, there are nothing like problems. I'm saying there are situations. It's happened before. So whatever you are going through now is happened before. And you need to identify those who can help you navigate that particular vessel. So let me leave you with those 3 words. I'm saying anytime you face a challenge, you first have to pause, like I did. When I was giving my programs, I paused and I reflected upon them. And I was reflecting on more of the opportunities than the challenges now. And then you begin to make progress. You make progress gradually. You make progress gradually. Yes, you are aiming for perfection, but you have to progress for you to get into perfection. Are we clear? And the last thing you need to know is for you to have an abundant mindset. No. You can't be just so fixed in your mindset. No. You have to be creative and you have to be flexible in the way you think. That's what we call the abundance mindset. The abundance what? Mindset. So you pause, you reflect, and you make progress, and you reflect on how to become an abundant-minded person. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very, very much, Fawaz. Fawazi, for a long time, I'm sure I'm going to remember this. When faced with challenges, pause, reflect, and progress. Pause, reflect, and progress. And secondly, don't rush for perfection, but progression. Focus on progressing from one state to another, rather than jumping into perfection. And finally, according to our final presenter, don't have a fixated mind regarding your career, but be flexible about it. And he used a terminology about abundant mindset, so that you can read the times. The Bible says that the people of Issachar understood the times. So you understand the times, like Love said earlier. When faced with COVID challenges, she switched into IT. Somebody who happens to be a counselor. So you should have an abundant mindset. It's time for Q&A, questions and answers. Questions and answers. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we'll give you the opportunity to ask. I know. You can raise your hand at any time and we'll call you. Normally, at times like that, when you have presentations and it's question time and no question, is one of two things. Either they didn't understand anything, or they understood everything so well that there was no need for questions. Please give the person the opportunity.
Please, thank you.
Mention your name.
Please, my name is Spencer Metunun.
Right, Spencer, please go.
Please, one of the speakers said something about the career path giving you joy. So what if the career path you are into is giving you joy, but is not reaching your financial satisfaction? Should you switch the career path or still go with it?
Right. So what do? Your career path is giving you satisfaction of the kind of passion you have and is bringing you joy, but financially, lalai. Is that also?
Yes, please.
What do you do? Which of the speakers is going to assist us answer this? Right. Domila.
The question was primarily about a career path that is not rewarding
Yeah, the question
and yet
is,
fulfilling.
Not rewarding financially.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's where an objective thinking and decision making comes in. I have a personal friend who is one of the finest bankers in Ghana, and he decided to stop banking and go and teach how to teach kids to learn music, and everybody around him was surprised. But he decided to make that move because at the end of the day, he wanted fulfillment and he wanted to be happy with something that he wanted to invest in, to stand in. So at that point, you have to definitely objectively think about that decision. If you are going to take a pay cut to live a better dream, then you have to adjust your life so that you can live within the means of whatever the outcome of that decision is. So something definitely has to give. You have to objectively weigh and decide which one is in your best interest.
right, thank you very much, Domila. Any other question? Yep.
Sir, please, my name is Amafun Ketia. Please, I want to ask that under certain situations, one is caught in a dilemma between choosing their own goals and their own parents' ambitions. Please, what must one do when they're in such a dilemma?
Come again, please.
Please, and under certain conditions, one is caught in a dilemma between choosing their own goals and that of their parents. Please.
All right. I think this is a very common situation that students face. Choosing between your personal goals and that of your parents. Which of the presenters is going to address that for us? Balai? Right, I'll do so. All right, Balai.
What, your personal goals versus that of your parents. Is that the question? That's a difficult one. I mean, if that's where negotiation skills comes in, because a traditional African family, once you live under somebody's roof, it's extremely difficult to go against the grain. I've seen in school students that wanted to study arts, but their parents wanted them to study science. Eventually, along the line, somewhere in life, they ended back in the humanities. But it's really how you make your arguments and your persuasive arguments and superior arguments. How do you define in this postmodern era we find ourselves in? I think young people have a lot more sway and ability to not argue but reason and debate their parents than we had when we were growing up. My mother, if you're talking and your mouth tears small, no, there's a slap coming, so but I find that my son and a lot of my contemporary sons, my contemporaries' kids have a certain kind of way of engaging parents that are able to convince parents about a certain. I mean, yes, parents will have experience, so they would want to steer you in a certain direction. But I think it's really finding persuasive and compromising ways to put your point across. It's a very difficult one. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks
I
for
also,
yesterday.
Can I just say?
All right, please go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, what Balai has just said is just how I would have looked at it as well, because it's a matter of negotiation. And if you're a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, and you're going to tell your parents that you want to be a content creator rather than a lawyer, when the family comes from a chain pedigree of lawyers for the last 50 years, how dare you? How dare you? You want to be a content creator? Are you serious? When your parents, your grandfather is, what do you call it, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's compatriot as a lawyer or something? No way. So what really makes a difference, like Balai said, is negotiation. You do a little bit of research. Yes, you're 17, 18, you might not know much out there. You might probably not know the gravity of the decision, or you have to make a decision nonetheless. You see, as Domila said before, you should have some understanding. You might not have it all, but have some sort of understanding of what you're putting yourself into. You do a little bit of research. 17, 15, 14, 18. Dr. Love said, there's information out there. Use ChatGTP, use an AI platform. Go and search or research where you want to go into, what is going to bring you satisfaction, money, change, impact. Go and do a research, come back to mom and dad, tell them, look, this is where I want to go. Give them a convincing reason why you want to go that path. Give them paperwork or show them, this is what I've done, this is my research. You might be able to help me to achieve my dream or what I really enjoy. I don't like being a lawyer. I mean, I hate it. Yeah, still, how dare you? But you have to make a case for it. You negotiate with research. You negotiate with something that you can come, something substantial. I've seen this, I've read this, and this is what it said. Might be wrong, but this is my motivation. When you do that negotiation and you do it sensibly, they might not easily say, okay, that's it. You've done enough research, you have a point to go away. No, I might not take that. But as Dr. Love said again earlier on, you might find yourself on the path where your parents have set for you, but you should also allow yourself flexibility to change in the future if it comes to that.
Right.
So
can I add on? Yeah. Can I add on to that conversation? I have a couple of points I want to make.
So because of time,
the first point I want to make is that as a young man or a boy student growing into a man, you should always bear in mind that the person who wants you to succeed the most in life are your parents. Once you leave your house and you go out into the world, your success really is nobody's business. So your parents come from a different age and time, and some of their motivations are stuck in that age and time. So that's the first point. The second point I want to make is that there is a difference between making choices at certain times in your life and pursuing your destiny. Sometimes the two are not happening at the same time. So although your parents may give you time, you shouldn't feel like it's locked in as your destiny. Don Miller has said he did accounting for 30 days. That was it. He pursued something else. Kovner has said he wanted to be an engineer. His idea of even who an engineer is totally different. He's doing accounting now. Love started something else. Life happened. She moved,
All right. Any other question, please?
And I am now managing 55 practices.
Well,
in
we
North
may
Carolina.
have to
I'm working as a
ask
doc
you to
maybe 2
pause
days
here
a week, 2 days
so we
a
can
month.
listen to other questions and address them.
So when your parents are coming,
Right. Next question, please. We have
Celebration of Boys Club Week in commemoration of International Day of the Boy Child. So if I may ask, how do the boy child, or how does the boy child get his or a mentor? As I said, in order to succeed, you need a mentor, someone who has more experience to guide you. So I want to read law. How do I find my mentor? Thank you.
Any other question? So how do you get your mentor?
Always pivot. At that time, you had enough knowledge, you have enough resources to be able to.
No, hold
do
on, please.
your
Hold on,
own.
please. Let's get the next question.
You could think about Davido, right? He came here to study. He says, I want to be a musician. He became a musician. At some point, his dad had to support him do that. So I want you to think about it that way.
Right, next question.
Please, about the career path. If I want to study IT at the university level, but when I applied, I got medicine. But when you are choosing your careers, they must align with your goals, passions, and skills. So imagine me giving a medicine doesn't align with my passions. What do I do?
All right, so Fawazi will handle both.
Thank you so much. I mean, to your question, you asked, how do I get my mentor? I think at the onset of our discussions, Lawrence did mention the fact that we have to be intentional with whatever you do. Whatever you have to do, there is cost to it. There is cost to it. You have to be intentional. If you really want to progress your career, for which reason you want a mentor in a particular field, you have to do it. You have to do it now. I mean, within the old school platform, Old Boys Association, we have a lot. You can walk into the office of your headmaster to say, this is my situation now. Can I get 2 or 3 lawyers, 2 or 3 doctors now, and I want one? You'll be offered on that. So you cannot sit in your chamber and expect the mentor to come to you. No, it doesn't happen like that. You have to be intentional about it. You have to get out from your seat, move into the street, move into the offices now. There's people call me. People just come, they send me LinkedIn. Send me messages on my LinkedIn. Can you be my mentor? Gladly, I will accept. So they are out there. But I cannot sit here now thinking that the mentor will walk to you, thinking that the mentor will come from the heavens now, land on your desk. No, you have to be very intentional about it. Are we clear? You can go into the office of the headmaster. Headmaster, this is my situation. Can I have old boys within this field? You have a lot of them. Will be a lot within several fields now. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. And with you regarding your courses now, like I said, it happened to me. So I know how it feels. That you want to go read what IT. You go into the school, they give you medicine. For that reason, you throw your hands in despair. No. What do you have to do? You pause. And you reflect. And you look at opportunities. If you have a mentor, you go talk to your mentor. What do I do in this space now? What are the opportunities within medicine? Are you going to abandon the idea? It could be one option that you want to go back. I'm not one of our mates now. You know what he did? When he was offered my same program, because he wanted to read admin, he had to defer his course by 1 year to better the grades now and come back. So it depends on what you are looking for and you listening to your inner self. If you are so sure that IT is what you want to do, nothing but ID, you are very resolute on it now. So how then do I move from medicine to IT? Google. Have your mentors. They will guide you. So it's not a problem at all. Like the earlier speaker said, when we were coming up, we never got these opportunities. People sit us down and guide us. No, it never happened. But fortunately, you have the guys in here now. As we speak here, you have a lot of mentors over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick their numbers. Talk to them. Engage. Relationship is very key to whatever you do. Are we clear? Right, thank you.
Yeah, to add to what Fawazi said, I will also want you to take advantage of the fact that Aoba Secretariat sits with you on this campus. So go to the Secretariat. They have a database of all Blaubi in different fields. So whoever you are interested, whichever field you are interested in, reach out to Aoba and they will get you a mentor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It has been a wonderful time. And
let me just add to it first.
Mr. President.
Yeah, so should any of you need any of these guys, their mentors, we have a database of all our members and the professions they have. We can share that with the headmaster through IFUA, and then you can contact. All right?
Right. Thank you very much. It has been a wonderful time. And I think that it has been beneficial if for nothing at all, learn how to negotiate. So you can negotiate with your parents regarding your career choices. And when faced with challenges, you will know what to do. We don't want to overemphasize it, but you know what to do. We want to invite Judith, as appointed by the school, to do the vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, it is an honor to do this, and let us all appreciate the kind of insights that we have had today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to the headmaster of Accra Academy for the opportunity to have this here. And I tell you, the whole of Accra Academy is indebted to you, ABLOB 1991. We are grateful, those online and those present here, the president and all the executives, we are grateful to you. We are also grateful to the IT team that worked on this tirelessly to make sure that it is successful. We are thankful to the staff who made time to be present here to share this moment with us. Indeed, we have all taken something from this beautiful encounter. And the students of Accra Academy are so indebted to you, especially with the information that you are available, so we can contact you and have some mentorship programs with you. We are so grateful, and we pray that you continue along this line with us. Grow us to become bigger, to raise Accra Academy high. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Indeed, Accra Academy is still building nations of men and making great men of them. We want to, before the closing prayer, so the one to do the closing prayer can climb up now, but before then, it's only proper to acknowledge the staff led by the headmaster who collaborated with us to ensure this happened. And so we'll be grateful to acknowledge the presence of the headmaster with the staff. And thank you so, so much. Right, so closing prayer. Right.
Before the closing prayer, this is not the Accra Academy I know. Look, we can be gentle, but you know what we are noted for. What we are noted for. Look, I mean, we don't care whether they are winning the National Science Mice and Quiz. We are still the best in certain areas. I am saying to you that it doesn't matter. Because, you know, there is one thing that we are noted for. And for that, nobody can take that away from us. Kona kraka koko muswe shambo. Hey, kona kraka keko muswe shambo. Hey, arewo sane. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Hey, arewo sane. Hey, kona kraka keko muswe shambo. Hey, kona kraka keko muswe shambo. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Mileni machoni kakraka yakpe. Arewo sane.
Fawazi will always be Fawazi.
Thank you very much. Let's take the closing prayer. May we please be outstanding as we pray shortly. All right, let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for this great opportunity to learn. We give you all the glory. We worship you for making this possible. We thank you for the blood peace. We thank you for what you are making at Accra Academy. Indeed, we build nations of men. We make great men of them. Generations of scholars will continually salute us. That is who we are. And we declare that our tentacles are spreading in the name of the Lord Jesus. With this information, our lives are changed. We are never the same. Thank you for this great institution. And we know that we are moving from glory to glory. In Jesus' mighty name we are prayed. Amen. Thank you.